In this video, we'll cover the spring pack replacement for the personnel or equipment roof hatch spring hinge system. Before you begin, please check to make sure the following parts are included in the kit: spring pack bottom plate, 2 1/4 20 by 2 inch bolts, 2 3/8 by 16 by 1 inch bolts, 2 3/8 16 nuts, 2 1/4 by 0.75 sheet metal screws, 2 1/4 20 by 1 inch carriage bolts, 2 1/4 20 nuts. And the tools you'll need are 2 9/16 inch wrenches, 7/16 deep well socket with driver, T30 Torx driver, or 1 3/8 inch nut driver. Step 1. Remove existing hardware. Remove the spring from the spring pack by removing the 2 1/4 20 by 2 inch bolts and bottom plate from the spring pack using the 7/16 socket. If the spring is being replaced, discard it, otherwise set it aside for reuse. Next, using the 2 9/16 wrenches, remove the 2 3/8 inch 16 bolts and nuts holding the spring pack to the door bracket and discard them. Using the T30 Torx driver or the 3/8 nut driver, remove the 2 sheet metal screws at the bottom of the spring pack and discard. Using the 7/16 socket, remove the 2 nuts holding the top of the spring pack to the curb. Remove and discard the spring pack and hardware. Step 2. Replace hardware. Installation is opposite of removal. Begin by replacing the carriage bolts through the outside of the base. It may be helpful to have an assistant hold the door partially closed while you install the carriage bolts. Next, hold the spring pack against the base with the carriage bolts through the top holes and carefully thread a 1/4 20 nut onto each bolt. Next, install the 2 sheet metal screws at the bottom of the spring pack and bolt the arm to the door bracket with the 2 3/8 inch 16 nuts and bolts. Tighten the carriage bolt nuts at the top of the spring pack. Finally, put the spring into the spring pack and install the bottom plate with the 2 1/4 20 by 2 inch bolts. If you have any trouble with installation or operation of your kit, please contact customer support.